we're on our way to a wonderful part of the Northamptonshire countryside to meet up with someone and his car to discuss the differences, the similarities, and how we're going about living with and enjoying our favourite cars. Well, I've got to say, mate, this is probably one of the most unlikely situations I thought I'd find myself in this year.
Likewise.
What's been going on?
Likewise. Have you at this point offered them any explanations of what's going on?
I've not offered anyone anything.
Perfect.
I'm letting them simmer and go, what's going on here? Are we in? Is this a trick? What's going on? What is going on, Tom? What happened?
We've only got a 15-minute video here, so
That's
and
it.
we've had sort of some conflabs recently.
Yeah, recently, the last 3 years.
Amicable conflabs recently, not so amicable conflabs in the preceding period. But I basically, from on my side, just decided to just start being slightly friendlier.
Thanks for that, mate.
Sorry,
Cheers.
it took a while.
Cheers. Yeah.
Oops. But yeah, life's just, we're working with the same brand now. It's and we realise we've actually got a hell of a lot in common.
Absolutely,
and it's just going to make life a lot nicer, and it just makes so much more sense. It's kind of something and nothing.
I always knew if I could get sat down in front of you, everything would be cool.
Yeah. I'm a bit of a Karen behind the keyboard sometimes.
No, it's good, man. It's been really good and really welcome, and we thought the best way to break the ice, and I'm going to say this when I get out on the road, just in case I write this off now.
Don't. Presumably you're insured?
Yeah, oh yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we thought the best way to break the ice, oh mate, this thing's ridiculously good. It's so sexy, this thing. Would be to swap each other's cars, basically. I'm in your Halo car, really.
Yeah.
Right? Which is one of my all-time favourite cars. You sodding so-and-so.
Do you know what? We were discussing this earlier. I was saying I actually saw a video years back of yours where you said Carrera GT A, sort of Halo car, and B, black with ascot.
Yeah.
So when this came up, I was like, I definitely have to get it to annoy you.
It did. I was like, man, the guy's nailed it. I mean, to be fair, props to him. I was like jealous and like clapping in equal measure because I was like, that is the spec.
Likewise with the TDF, to be fair. I made no secret I always wanted one. Then you got one, I was like, I'm furious.
Yeah, so we thought, wouldn't it be great to stir the pot a bit?
Absolutely.
Both get into each other's cars that just so happen to be one of each other's favourite cars.
Yep.
So, anyway, how are you finding it?
In the passenger seat, I'm quite tense.
Relax, man. It's all good. We've got a sunny day, heat in the tyres. We're taking it steady.
You're a racing driver. Everything's fine.
Well, I wouldn't call me a racing driver. I sometimes race cars.
More of a racing driver than me. It's in better hands with you than it is for me. I'm useless. How are you finding it anyway?
It's just, honestly, this is a good and bad day in equal measure, because just when you've got it out of your mind, that you're like, okay,
do it.
That thing sailed, that boat sailed. You get back into one and you're like, oh my god, this is so sublime. It's, I mean, just that. Yeah. One of the things you can't get through on camera is the like delicacy of everything you interact with. It's all everything, the gearbox, it's like a Swiss watch movement. Everything about it's just so accurate.
So, are you gonna get a Carrera GT then?
Mate, if we're starting this again, I remember
new car hype.
Oh man, honestly, it's one of the cars. It's been on my top 5 list for years. Looking at yours, I probably should have done one instead of the F12 actually, but
I don't know.
It's a pretty
F12 special.
It is a special thing.
Special.
I guess it's a more usable car.
Yeah, I mean this stresses me out. I'm not going to lie.
Does it?
Yeah. It's
what's it like around town?
Awful. Absolutely awful. Yeah.
Dire.
But it's pulling out of junctions in a rush. That's the bit that gets me, because you can dump the clutch and burn it, and you might spin as well and break the clutch, or you edge out really slowly.
Yeah, I found that the whole clutch thing it's true, man. That they are a bit of it's kind of like a light switch in that it's on or off.
Yep.
But the trick is you can ease out of a junction with no revs at all.
Yeah.
Which is fine unless you've got to get out of a junction in a hurry.
Yep.
And then, like you say, you're either full laying 11s down,
yep,
or you stall it in the middle of a junction and you look like an absolute killer.
People love it when you stall it. They love it when you stall. But I get tooted all the time in this because I edge out so slowly. Yeah, people are on the wall behind. It's like, you get in here and drive this and tell me, yeah. It's...
So I watched from afar on this journey because just out of spite I didn't follow Tom on Instagram.
We follow each other now.
Now we're best friends.
It's all got quite cute.
Yeah, and so every now and again I would get screenshots on the update and I was like, oh man, this thing's so cool. But what I didn't understand was the journey to it. So what was it like, first of all, trying to find the right car?
I was scrabbling around at the bottom of the market, so I made no secret of the fact, you know, this isn't your sort of 2,000 mile, you know, babied car.
Yes.
This car's been used. It's clean. It's got proper service history and whatnot, but it's. I had a limited amount of cars because I couldn't afford the top cars.
Right.
I had to go in but it was a nightmare. A lot of foreign cars around with real kind of missing history that have been in shuts. And you know as well as I do, these things when they've had a knock, they're almost like a helmet. You drop them on the floor, you can't necessarily see they're screwed, but they are. Yeah. Because of the carbon internals and whatever. So it was hard, but this actually came through a friend of mine, like a good friend of mine. He's known the car from new. Right. He's looked after it from new. And it was off market, so I got a great deal. And yeah, it's my dream car. I've never thought I would be able to catch one before they went.
It's so good.
Yeah, I still can't believe it.
I think you're right. They will one day. They're gonna go F40 full send.
Yeah, 100%.
And that'll be amazing. Yeah, so thanks for letting me drive it, dude.
Not at all, mate. And
really
I'm going to be in a TDF in
a second. Well, this is it.
So,
yeah. So if he thinks I'm worried about that, you'd be right.
I'm fine.
No, it'll be fine.
I drive like a grandma, as my audience tell me all the time.
Totally cool.
On the continent, it's quite normal that these have 20, 30,000 miles. There's ones with sort of 40k on the continent. And people in Europe don't really care about mileage. No. They're not bothered.
Get used.
It's a very UK thing where people are like, oh, 5,000 miles. Yeah. I was actually warned off buying a car with too few miles in it. Yeah, I bet. They apparently, they're the trouble. They're real trouble. Pro GTs that have been sat around.
Yeah. When they get used, they get lubricated properly through the engines and the suspension flexes and whatever.
That Max Each guy, do you know him on Instagram? Yeah. I remember him putting something out saying he's had a few of these. I mean, mental having a few great or he's driven a few of them, whatever. But he said the ones that drive the best are the ones with a load of miles in them.
Absolutely, man.
I mean, one thing you could do with is proper aircon. I am
right now absolutely melting. I want to put the window down from an audio point of view, but I can't. I'm not going to lie. I wish we had the roof off. Or shall I try this? That's better, right? I mean, look, we're taking it steady, but dude,
it's got a titanium system on it, so I've got the original exhaust in the back of my Range Rover. Just carry it around.
It's just an amazing machine, isn't it?
So good. I want to get another go in a minute.
I mean, the brake feels phenomenal. It's got so much pressure to lean on. You just wouldn't imagine, like, if this car launched today, you'd think it was amazing. Never mind. Well, can you imagine what this thing was like in 2004? People must have lost it.
They weren't even really selling that well though, because people would like. I remember Dean. He used to sell them new.
Yeah, he did. That's right.
And they didn't really. It wasn't like a sellout kind of instant success and like massive overs. They were around 300 grand, but I guess F50s were 300 grand. F40s.
That's true. Yeah. F50. I was in front of one a few weeks ago that was up at 2.5 million. An F50. Right? And when you look at them as a platform, they're not dissimilar.
No.
At all.
No.
You know.
So that I think these are good news long term, but
absolutely.
Ultimately, I didn't buy it to be a cash cow. I bought it because I wanted one, and I knew that it would probably not make me lose my house over it. I would probably be
save money.
The interest on the finance would be paid off by some gradual gain, and that was free motoring basically. Yeah, the bills aren't that bad.
Yeah.
You know, servicing, a minor service is a few grand. The clutch out one's what?
Where do you
50?
take it for servicing? Do you have to take it back to main dealer or the?
I have it. So it's had some specialist history. A guy that I actually know, and it's a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
But it will go to Porsche Reading.
Yeah.
I will get the stamp in the book. but it's had a new clutch, it's had an engine.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
that throttle pickup is obnoxious. It's so good, mate. It's so good.
It almost
honestly.
revs like a motorbike. It's so freely. It's almost like, well, LFA obviously revs like more freely because it is a motorbike.
Ridiculous. Honestly, it's so nice. Just a quick overview for anyone who might not be familiar with the history of this car. The engine was originally developed for the footwork Formula 1 team. So imagine this, it started out live as a Porsche Formula 1 engine.
Yep.
Imagine that. And then it was sort of adapted to a Le Mans engine, and then the FIA changed the rules and they scrapped it and put it on a shelf, and then some genius went, do you know what? We should probably put this in a road car.
Yeah.
Yes. Has
It's
it got a
coolest
lift?
story. No lift, mate.
Okay, so if I just take a wide berth, that's okay.
It'll be alright, he says.
He says, it was going so well.
We've got a little plastic tray under the front.
Cool.
The front lip's plastic, so it's not groundbreaking if you do. No pun intended.
Oh,
we do
yeah.
smoke it.
Okay.
You can get lift kit. I think Manti do one maybe.
Really?
A few people do, but
have you found you've needed it around town?
not really. I mean, I really don't. I mean, I'm going to get shouted at by the audience now.
Yeah.
I don't really use it that often.
Right.
I bought the place in the Cotswolds. It's going to move out there.
Dream place for it.
And that's where it's going to live. And so that's taking longer than expected. So we'll get used by that. But driving around town doesn't do anything for me.
No. Well, in a car like this, it's not so
Sitting
much.
in traffic.
Yeah.
I mean, King's Road is quite nice to annoy people once in a while, isn't it? With the roof off, with the dog in the passenger seat.
Oh, man,
that
with
winds
the roof
people
off,
up.
The sound. This is the other thing I almost forgot. I won't go so far as to say it's two cars in one, but when you take the roof off, the whole experience transforms, right?
Yeah. It's unbelievable. And it works really well. And all the weaving, the quilting, everything, it just...
Beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's
Beautiful
unbelievable.
thing. Mate, I really appreciate it.
No worries at all.
And it's great to be talking.
It's good to be on good terms.
It's good to be on good terms.
Life's too short.
Honestly,
It couldn't carry on.
I know.
It's just ridiculous.
What I'd like, and if people want to leave comments, I'd be open to doing more stuff, Tom.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
I'm game. I mean, there's plenty of cars to get through.
Well, this is it. Well, yeah, you know what? Head over to Tom's channel, because I'm going to grill him on his obscenely large car collection and what's next and garage updates and things. So
More rusty cars.
really appreciate it, mate.
Mate,
Thanks a lot.
not at all.
Cool.
Thanks very much. Thanks for not breaking it.
Ciao.